And by the time you know it, at times you may not know that the seeds available are not enough. So when you think it's now time and the bell and maybe has gone for you to rush it to come, we'll see. By the time you know what, like when we are in school, by the time you know it, the second bell will go for end of what? Session. End of, they have time for eating now. I don't know what's happened these days in our school days. You normally have at times 5 minutes for you to eat your food. That's it. If you don't finish, you can't carry it out. You can't take anything outside the refrigerator. So I was just seeing this type of movement and what is happening. I was beginning to wonder whether this other saying can be right in this instance, that maybe the last can be the first, or the first the last. Which one? Eh? So either way. Either way. You see, what we are here to do is like we are asked to, or being asked, or we are being asked to actually, this very common idiom we know, looking at an elephant. Somebody is standing, the other person is sitting, the other person is somewhere upstairs, and you are asked to give a description. My elementary knowledge of technical drawing was that one during my secondary school, the junior classes, we did what we call technical drawing. And then at times we be asked to come up, and they are still doing the architects. They say this one is the front view. Am I right? Yes. This one is the rear view. This one is the front elevation. So if you now see the front elevation at times, and you have need to, without information, see the other one without maybe a light, you begin to wonder whether there is any relationship between the two. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. You see a building, this is our other building now, that the column is a 2, 0, whatever it is. Give a vision, a situation where ANAN will be seen in another light. We are doing very well in a number of areas, but there are other areas we need to enter. Even those areas we are doing well, there is still need for what? Improvement. So that's why we now talk of branding and what? Rebranding. Now, this is changing the matrix. We are here to do what? The changing of the matrix. I don't know if, I'm not an English guy. Let me not disturb you so much. But I don't know if it's for that English, right? They know better. But for the little I know, this or that, the changing of, is the action. That's what the action is. Elementary, I know, when we did management, we are told these are levels of management to see. The old one, the person that developed the very first one, Robert Anthony, in 1965, that was when he was doing this management triangle of prison. Was about way back in 1965, by Robert Anthony. And he's linked to the military. That thing you see, strategy, tactical, and operation. It's like a blind thing, but it's full of what? Vision and light. Because as a leader, you should be able to see, like you are seeing beyond your branches. Once you have that responsibility, there is something that normally can tell you. I don't know whether you say it's picture or what, I don't know. Now, this thought, this strategy, where you do creative thinking, right? Creative thinking. For long-term plan, long-term program. And from there, you come to the middle, that is the tactical. Where you now translate it into annual targets, annual goals, am I right? Then you have the operations, the managers, people who are on ground to make it happen. Those annual targets, they change it and translate it into concrete plans to be pursued daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. You have results, you evaluate it, and then you can push it further. By the end of the year, you keep doing the review. I think that what you may call as accountants, you know, budget to have control periods. Is it not? That's why in the National Assembly they talk of quarterly review, annual, semi-annual, they call it. So, but truly, that's what it's supposed to be. Budget performance, evaluation, and what the branches are, the way he situated them properly, correctly. So if we know our position, if we know where we are heading, we must take it seriously. And where we are heading to. What is expected at the end of this exercise. That's why I said, let us understand it clearly. Changing the metrics of leadership assessment. And then we are here to carry the action. The changing of, that is the action. And if we believe that, if we know that, then we are good to go. What is that action that we're here to articulate? Essentially, this topic is not very different. It's not very different from that of the President's inaugural speech. Those of you that attended the inauguration know what I'm talking about, is it not? This is almost the same. But if you look at it critically from what I just said, you know that, yes, this is what it is, but this, why you are here, is now a little bit, if you like, more than that, because you are here to add fresh to it. The other one is like the skeleton. Even though the skeleton determines the frame, is it not? If you have somebody that has defects and is moving, you can always move like this, is it not? But if the skeleton is in order, it's okay, standing well. And then you add the face, the body can move and do a number of other things, is it not? That's why we are here. So, if we look at I think it's not moving over. And the people who do the work, action, the branches, to review that speech, and then come up with an action plan for implementation. Because we are the what? The people on ground. So this second one is what you call the matters what? Analysis. That's the second one. From that President's inaugural speech. So, and in that, we are not going to discuss it from the beginning. Putting all those big quotes you have from the big, and you know, I don't know how to describe him. It's difficult to describe our president. But down there, many places, they call him the doyen of what? But that's not, it's not only in accountancy, it's also the management expert. Is a consultant in leadership matters. So, now, when you look at the matters arising, we will not, like I said, focus on everything. We narrowed ourselves, restricted ourselves to the fourth segment, which he captured profiling the ANAN brand. You know the title, branding ANAN for global world. Those things he brought up, ranging from the new license we just got for the university. By indication, the NEC came and we showed them all that we have, and they gave our accreditation, they gave license, meaning that we have completed it to the university. So there is nothing for the college. But the college must exist now. It's the college that gave back to that. So how do we now erect structures for the college? You see the challenge? You now see the task. Who are the people that will help this thing to happen? Who are the people? The branches. Now the other one we will talk about inside, like the issue of mobilization, what has happened before, the reduction we suffer 30% drop, and the need, the challenge of this ICT that is in our hands. Is either in our sector we say either you publish or you perish. So it's either we innovate and move in the same place with trends, or we go what on improving regional centers for examination. That is even the push from IFAC. I remember when I was in the exam, we are informed that IFAC, after this, they said, take this thing to the people. And ANAN has taken the, this president didn't waste any further time. Adding the other dimension, regional offices. The council has approved that we have centers, at least 7 centers, is it not? Now, 6 plus college, that is 7. So, how do we take advantage? Those people that are averse to traveling, how do we now bring them into the fold? And the charge given to us is to increase the enrollment to at least 10,000 within the next 5 years. How do we mobilize funds? How do we recover this debt overhang? I get them before. Sorry if I use this broken. I get them before, maybe property. I forget them. I forget them. Where is it now? What have you to show for it? How do we resolve it? That's why we're here. We're not here to tell stories. We're here to work out the what? Action plan. Now, the topics, if after looking at it, this thing will happen, it will translate between the head office and the branches. And the branch is the engine room. So, if the engine, check this trailer, you know trailer, trucks, you know the way they have truck, the one they call tractor, the hay, are you getting it? He's moving. The other one is moving, carrying loads, heavy. But if anything happened to that table, that thing they call table, that's one thing that hooks the two. And he's moving, no matter how wonderful it is, and one goes this way, wow, what will happen? Accident. This one will fall off, maybe tumble, and they tumble, it may even overturn the other one, 2 of them will fall. So there is always need for that harmony. Even when there is gallop, this one will do well, the other one will do well. Together, they are moving together, dancing together. That's the only way they continue to move. That's why I was discussing with the registrar. He said these topics are from the moon. I want to quote him this morning when I was chatting with him. He said, I need to have confidence. These topics are from the moon. I said, kudos to the chairman and committee members and to the president because he made input. It's wonderful. Now, the challenge. What was thrown up by this our COVID challenge, the ICT, deployment and so on, was brought in branch administration. How do we use it? We'll come to that. Now, you come down, the issue of recovering our debt that we are talking about. People will start getting jealous. Some other persons will maybe say, are you sure he's not using juju? Because once you go to the bush in our own side, and you want a wide one, a forbidden bush. Creativity. Started to be creative, and you're able to get something, achieve results. So, from there, we now have the issue of branch. That thing is not branch in a place. It's branding. I corrected it here, but I couldn't correct it because I sent it as. It's branding, not branching. That is branding and rebranding. And marketing ANAN. Everything about us is marketing. And everything about us is also what? Brand. If you understand what it is. Brand is not necessarily a physical thing. It's a physical design. Not a symbol necessarily, but it can be. People are known for something. That thing which you are known for, which you want to be known for, is the brand you want to take. That's the image you want to portray. That is how you want people to see you. So we'll come to that. We'll come back to it. So let's go and take it fast because my friend said they've cut the time by what? Half. So some of these questions we'll be asking and answering it ourselves. Don't take it because I suggested answers. These things here are like what? Suggested what? Answers. Not necessarily the answers. The first question is why are we here? from this, I think it's clear to us why we're here. Okay? We are not here to listen to lecture necessarily, no. We are here to do a work. What is it? To work out a what? Strategic plan of action to be implemented. One that is measurable. One that is specific. It must be definite, must be measurable, and must be actionable. It's not actionable. It's not so that, attainable. You don't set something in the high crowd or just for that one of it. No, it must be specific, and there must be a time frame for it. That's why we're here. Now, the first question is, what is this call for? What is this call for? This is the battery. Battery is saying that it's going. Now, we are here to do one thing. An action. The changing of. The what? Changing of. Here, to key into the present vision and mission. And once we do that, we should be able to articulate a work plan of action. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is the profiling, that profiling a global brand, the first segment that I just mentioned during the introduction, right? If you go further, you're now going to see some images now. That is the new college. That's the new college, the new administrative Prof. Many of us have been to JOS. This is what we now have. The other one we have is a story building. The new one we have now is what? To see how you look at it. It's bigger than what you have. It's better. It's supposed to be better because in this one you now see sign that there will be lift in this one. There was no lift in the other one. So it's a new image for the. You can see it in the lecture theater. If you enter that one, even if your head is as blocked as I don't know, when it will start opening because even your senses, your hormones will notice that you are in a new environment. You are in an academic environment, and you start being serious with why you are there. You check the other one, the library. If you enter that place to read, if you are the type that read for 30 minutes, take it or leave it to read for 1.5 hours. That is the direction. If you go further, you now see the proposed auditorium. If you go beyond that now, you now see the ICT building because that's the direction to go. So that people who go there will be well trained, hands-on. They will have everything required of them to practice. They will be well armed, well skilled. So that you are in this company that are using Sage this, you are in that is reading course. And I used to like it. In fact, even now I still teach it. I have a book there and so on. So I'm at home going for IT. Those days we work it out. We are not paid, but we want to be exposed, right? I'm getting to the head office when a Canadian, not now, then when they have steel structures, their construction trailer bodies, tankers, and so on. New brand, that selling brand names, Mercedes cars, Mercedes trucks, servicing parts, everything in place. They have foam section, agri, 14 or 15 chairs. I was at the head office. The first assignment, go and do this. I went, bank reconciliation, no problem. But when it was time for recording, they say accounts code. I know what account code is. I know what code it is. So when instead of seeing account code number, you know what they call it? Cades number. Cades. What is Cades? You are looking at me. Are you not an accountant like myself? What is Cades? Imagine an undergraduate repeating that word, Cades. Is it Latin? Is it Arabic? Is it Greek? I don't know. Cades number. I didn't shiver. I was eager to know what is different between this Cades number and they showed me how to do it. I said I was doing it well. Until one day, and I looked at the imported cabinet, 5 cabinets they are using. It happened that the man that developed it The old man they imported from is an espionage or whatever. They just steal the man from Leventis, the person that built the system. So he didn't quite go to school. He started with a secondary school or something and stayed for a long time, grew up. This is the cadence number. You see how they have domiciled it to suit the organizational environment. Meanwhile, you see the same code number. So, if we now look at the cafeteria, you see the hostel, no more bungalows. Yes. So, what then is the challenge? Raising this structure. Is it the way we are talking it? We say ego, udi, owo. Once you say it, the money will come. Not at all. Where will this money come from? All the people that will contribute, donate, do this, are they not all members of the different branches? So where will this money come from? From the branches. If you go further, on the way we try to tabulate it, the next other one, the issue of physical and form, I've said something about it, the drop by 30%, right? In revenue, occasioned by COVID. How then, what's the strategy? What's the means to increase this revenue? Who will work it out? They are the operations, the engine. Everything about ANAN, whether we are moving forward or backward, is dependent on the what? Branches. They are the engine room, yes. So you check the other one, the issue of decentralization. I said something about the regional offices. How do we get these offices set up? The region, do we set it in the air? There must be structures on ground. The next other one is this digital challenge. I've said something about it, I won't waste time there. We have we can also use it to help us expand our frontiers and increase the enrollment of students and achieve this number, this target, 10,000, even before the 5 years target, okay? The period, timeline. Then government and public elections. You see, we have people providing matching grants to branches if they have activities, if they have programs. There is the other one that is even more serious. When we come to the strategy to recover debt, you know, I'm combining because I'll be jumping because it's already giving me a sign. When you come and you have somebody, first of all, we'll go the branch. Identify is one of the strategies. That's the first one. All your people, the people are members in your state. That is primary. Then you isolate them. Don't do a blind job, not at all. Identify. You see these people that are being owed salary is on state, right? A particular ministry. Then you waste that every time you go to the office, you're asking for them to pay. You're not a serious person. Sorry if I'm being hard, but you are not strategic. Let me not say the word serious. You are not strategic. But you know that the other people, they just receive their own. That is the place to focus your chest right, because there is what? Liquidity that side. There is solvency, level of solvency is high. So you go there and they put pressure on them to settle their debt. By the time you now get the information that the other people are now being paid, then you go and remind them that they are owing. And then you use platform. In my own case, our old boy, our old boys association, this platform can do magical. The president just floated that these accounts of members, this and that, without being harmful, floated it in the platform, posted it, and said this person is going. Anyway, our account number details this. This person has paid up to 2022. The other person 20. You believe what I'm telling you without asking people to pay up. You start seeing alert, the notice of alert. When this one person has paid up to 2021, when 2022, when payment started coming in earnest. But you know, cultures vary. That's why the individual branches, there are people at certain level you need to meet. You don't need to put their name in the platform just like that. Are you getting it? That's why it's necessary for us to work out these details. The issue of matrix, the other one that can be the relationship you're supposed to have. So I won't have time for it. Can you go back a bit? That diagram you see there, because that's actually the one I wanted you to have. But when the chairman insisted you should have this, I have no option than to comply and obey. This one, okay? The printing wasn't very clear. In the same what? Direction. Are you getting it? They are moving in the same direction. The other one in front is the head office. All the other ones are branches. You see the members, the various institutions in the various branches being connected, being linked up. That relates to what Father the membership just discussed. We didn't discuss it, but from there, because it's like the truth is, it remains. So now, if we come back to the strategies, let me just quickly highlight it. You have it. The first one is you locate the debtors, right? And then have an effective collection mechanism. Have options, payment options. Don't tell them they must go to the bank. Even if it means I'm paying for them, no problem. Let them pay with ATM, let them pay with transfer. Give them a number of wide range of options to make it easy for them. And each time you are putting a notice, the account numbers must be made what? Available. Don't wait for them to ask. I don't know if you are getting it. We are merely contributing to our individual quotas.